former President Donald Trump had once asked if China was shooting hurricanes at the United States. I'm not kidding. This has been widely reported and actually comes from Mark Esper's new book. Now, before I go into the details, let me just say, don't buy his book. Mark Esper is a coward and was a yes man for Donald Trump while he was there. They literally referred to him as Mark Yesper. So, and like a lot of these grifters that worked in the Trump White House that were attracted to power and were very right-wing, he decides that afterwards, oh, I'm going to release a book containing information that we should have actually known, especially before an election, about how insane the former president of the United States actually was. But no, we're going to sit on it. I'm going to sit on it. And the reporters are going to sit on this information so that they can write a book. And so, anyway, with that out of the way, let's move on. And I'm going to give you an excerpt here. Near the beginning of Donald Trump's time in office, the then president had a pressing question for his national security aides and administration officials. Does China have secret technology, a weapon even, to create large man-made hurricanes and then launch them at the United States? Man-made hurricanes being launched at the United States. That's what the former president believed. Like a weapon. What? Again, this is total weirdo, nonsense, conspiracy theory stuff. Of course, this is like the whole HARP satellite thing. Like, oh, you know, they're doing the weapons. They're creating the weather weapons. Like this stuff that you would hear on InfoWars. And then, of course, also akin to like the Jewish space lasers from Marjorie Taylor Greene. And so, I mean, and I compare those things because it's all the same kind of nonsense. Nonsense. And by the way, when you look at the logistics of it, does he not know where China is? Any hurricane launched from China, the shortest route would be through the Pacific and would hit the West Coast. Does he not understand that? I mean, it'd have to go through the West Coast. And generally, no, these hurricanes in hurricane season develop in the Gulf and in the Atlantic Ocean and then go to the East Coast or around Texas and in Florida, etc. And so none of that makes any sense. China has many bases in Africa, says PG in the chat. Touche. Wow. All right. Now, again, he didn't just ask once. He asked multiple times. One former Trump official, described as intimately familiar with the then sitting president's inquiry, first said that, I'm sorry, this is according to two former senior administration officials, and a third person, Trump had asked about this multiple times, and then another one is quoted as saying that, quote, it was almost too stupid for words. I did not get the sense he was joking at all.
Wet ass P word.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's the wrong.
It's like a shark, NATO, except with poop.
Okay. All right. This later became known as the hurricane gun thing in some official circles. Trump didn't call it a hurricane gun. Maybe he should have. It would have been funnier. But that seems hardly the point. No, the guy thought that the Chinese might be shooting hurricanes at us. Like, what? Dumbest man in America. He was president. He might be again. He might be again. No, there are people out there that listen to him. They listen to him talk to, we got the windmills. the sound from the windmills, it gives you the cancer. They listen to that, and then they hear, well, maybe they don't hear about the conspiracy that China is launching hurricanes at us, but they think, nailed it. That's my guy. That's my guy. Smartest man in America. No. 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 I mean, and of course, this makes more sense now when you put it in context with when he had asked about nuking hurricanes, because he thinks, well, if the Chinese are launching the hurricanes at us, then we're just going to nuke the hurricane and destroy their weapons. Obviously. Very stable genius. I know more about hurricanes than anybody has ever, than everybody could ever know about hurricanes. I have tremendous knowledge. My uncle, John Trump, he was at MIT. He was a scientist, and he knows all about the nuclear. You're kidding, right? I mean, I remember covering the nuking of the hurricane. I remember that. And I'm like, that can't be, that. Okay, that's got to be the most insane thing I've heard. No, it got worse. His staff literally had to explain to him very slowly that sending a nuke into a hurricane wouldn't end the hurricane. It would just make the hurricane radioactive. I mean, it's amazing how there were so many people in that administration, right? Very, very conservative, very right-wing people, right? They get into this administration, and then they realize, oh my God, he's an insane person. That we are not dealing with a very mentally stable person at all. We're not talking about a bunch of lefties here. We're talking about Mark Jesper. We're talking about people like John Bolton. We're talking about Mad Dog Mattis, who ended up being the more adult people in the room, and having to say, "Hey, look, Donald, we can't nuke a hurricane. We can't. It makes no sense. It's not possible. Why can't we nuke a hurricane? Give me my Sharpie." Holy shit. He's nuts. He's certifiable. Believes in every single conspiracy theory you can imagine. And again, people in his administration had to get together to make like a suicide pact is probably the wrong phrase for that. But they had to make a pact to quit if Trump did certain things, like overstep the line. I mean, how close, like, it makes you wonder how close we were to actual annihilation from this guy. Again, he believes in every single conspiracy theory, except for, but he doesn't believe in climate change. Climate change is actually making hurricanes stronger and more frequent. By lengthening the time of hurricane season, giving them more energy through the warm water, the warmer oceans. And so that's the real problem. Why don't we do something about climate change? No, I don't believe in that. That's garbage. Weather weapons, I'm in on it. I think you're onto something. Weather weapons. Look. You tell me. All right, and this is we're gonna get serious for a moment here. In his next administration, if he runs and he wins, do you think he's gonna put people in his administration that might stop him? I mean, I don't think he's a dumb person. You think he's gonna make the mistake twice of putting in people that he does not know if they're loyal? Again, insane, very, very dumb, but my God, the guy is driven. And I think he's going to surround himself with not the best people, because we see how that worked out. No, people who are more loyal to him than they are to democracy. that should concern everyone.